the two low islands that sit midstream in the St. Lawrence, Île Sainte-Hélène and Île Notre-Dame, have always been more than breaks in the current. They are stage and scaffold, fort and fairground, an urban threshold where Montreal has rehearsed its shifting ideas of defense, leisure, spectacle, and nature. From canoe routes to Formula One tracks, the islands mirror the city's evolving identity. Long before maps fixed European names to these islands, this section of Kanya-Tarowanene, the Great River, was a seasonal crossroads. Haudenosaunee and Anishinaabe communities fished in the calmer channels and used the island's heights as markers on journeys between inland waters and the Gulf. Their placement made them natural waypoints, offering safe landings, food sources, and vantage points over the shifting currents. French explorers in the early 17th century noted the islands as they charted the channels around the settlement that would become Montreal. Île Sainte-Hélène was named in honor of Hélène Boulet, wife of Samuel de Champlain. For decades, the islands served practical purposes: wood gathering, pasturing animals, and stopping before tackling the dangerous Lachine Rapids. Yet their strategic position made them more than mere conveniences. After the War of 1812, the British saw defensive value in Île Sainte-Hélène. Engineers transformed the island into a fortified site, constructing ramparts, powder magazines, and guardhouses. The sober military architecture emphasized utility: thick walls, low profiles, and careful sightlines across the channel. For years, soldiers drilled, maintained the defenses, and patrolled from this outpost. Today, the surviving powder magazine remains one of the best preserved in Canada, a stark reminder of a period when Montreal was a vulnerable colonial city on contested waters. By the late 1800s, defense gave way to leisure. Like many cities of the time, Montreal embraced the idea of parks as civic lungs. Île Sainte-Hélène gradually shifted from garrison to green retreat, with walking paths, shaded groves, and viewpoints across the river. Pleasure boats ferried visitors to its shores, and the island became a scenic mirror for the expanding metropolis. The transformation that would most define the islands came with Expo 67. Montreal dredged millions of tons of material from the river and repurposed spoil from the metro excavation to expand Île Sainte-Hélène and create Île Notre-Dame from scratch. The audacity was breathtaking. Invent new geography to host a world exposition themed Man in His World. Expo 67 brought pavilions from around the globe. The United States presented a monumental geodesic dome, designed by Buckminster Fuller, while Île Notre-Dame became a landscape of international architecture set along man-made canals. Montreal suddenly seemed modern, confident, and cosmopolitan. The exposition not only reshaped the city's image, but left behind infrastructure that would serve for decades. After the fair closed, the islands were rebranded as Parc Jean-Drapeau, honoring the mayor who had championed the project. Some pavilions disappeared, while others were repurposed. La Ronde Amusement Park continued to thrill visitors, while the U.S. Pavilion's dome damaged by fire, was reimagined as an environmental museum. The fairgrounds became a flexible public space, hosting art, concerts, and festivals that drew Montrealers back season after season. Île Notre-Dame developed a distinct identity rooted in sport. For the 1976 Olympics, planners built a rowing and canoe-kayak basin, a watercourse that remains a training and competition site today. Soon after, the island also gained Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, a Formula One track named for Quebec's celebrated driver. Each summer, its roar of engines and international crowds transformed the park into a global spectacle. On quieter days, cyclists and joggers reclaim the same asphalt, a democratic reuse of elite infrastructure. The France and Quebec pavilions found new life as the Casino de Montreal, with added glass expansions. Its theatrical design blends remnants of Expo with modern flair, symbolizing the city's ability to recycle architecture into new purposes. Île Sainte-Hélène remains the more layered of the two islands. Military fortifications recall the 19th century, while the dome, now housing an environmental museum, signals modernity's ambitions redirected towards sustainability. The dome's glowing lattice has become one of Montreal's most recognizable landmarks, shifting from Cold War optimism to ecological progress. Festivals further enrich the island's identity. Osheaga, picnic électronique, and fireworks competitions transform lawns and groves into temporary villages of sound and light. The juxtaposition is striking. Centuries-old stone powder magazines share space with pulsating music stages. The bridges linking the islands emphasize their role as connectors. The Jacques-Cartier Bridge leaps gracefully over the river, its deck offering a balcony onto freighters and skylines. Smaller spans knit the two islands together and link to the south shore. Movement, whether by bike, car, metro, or foot, remains central to the island's experience. Each crossing reframes Montreal's skyline, Habitat 67, and the Old Port from fresh vantage points. Île Sainte-Hélène and Île Notre-Dame are more than parks. They are living archives where Montreal has stored its most ambitious experiments. From defense to leisure, from world fairs to Olympic sport, from ecological education to mass entertainment. Few places embody so many years of urban history within such a compact space. At dusk, when the dome glows, freighters slip past, and festival sounds drift across the water. The islands show their essence, resilient hosts to the city's unfolding story, open to the next chapter while still echoing with the last. I hope you've enjoyed this video. This channel has more videos of Montreal in the Montreal playlist, which is linked in the description below the video. Channel also has more videos of my adventures bicycling through Latin America, Southeast Africa, Central and Eastern Europe, and I have playlists for all of those countries that I've traveled through, available on the same channel, Hum of the Earth. So for more videos of Montreal and other cool places around the world, you can subscribe to the channel by clicking on the red subscribe button and clicking on the bell to be notified when new videos come out. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.